What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon jumping back into Rugby 25 today with our new patch. They're doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, so they've just come out with a new one. So, of course, we're going to take a look at the new update, go over the patch notes, some thoughts, and some opinions, as well as playing a game and seeing what's been implemented well, what may not have been implemented well. That tends to be how these updates go for the majority of it. There's normally really good points, and then there's normally some that end up being kind of worse. But we'll see how we get on. As usual, timestamps in the description and also in the timeline of the video. If there's a specific area you guys want to jump to, hit the like button, the subscribe button, all the fun YouTube stuff. And let's jump straight into it with the March 4th patch. Dear players, it's Tuesday and Tuesday means patch. Below are the changes introduced with this update. Improved passing, better calculation of pass trajectories and responsiveness from AI-controlled players to passing. Interesting to see what that means. I'm going to guess that means I've had a few issues with players getting in the way of my pass, or still, bouncing off of people's heads and stuff. So I'm guessing it means that. Better responsiveness from AI-controlled players to passing. I feel like the AI already hones in on who you're passing to very, very often. So we'll see what's changed there. Improved the ruck turnover. The chance of causing a turnover of the ruck has now increases proportionately with the skill differential between the opposing players without the need of a push over. Interesting. So maybe they don't have the bowling alley Skittles animation anymore for being actually like driving the ball over. Maybe it just means they'll compete at the ruck and the better team will get away with the ball. We're going to have to see how that's implemented. One thing I've been finding from my own playing and my own testing of the game is it really feels like if you have the higher rated team, you just win a lot more of those breakdowns. So if you don't always want that to be the case, because that can really sort of damage an online play perspective if you want to play with a lower rated team. We'll see how it gets on. Improved AI decision making. Changes to the AI defensive tactics and offensive decision making, including less conservative play, resulting in an increased number of passes in a phase. Great, that is one thing a lot of people were complaining about, of course, the one-off passes from the AI. I've seen a couple more where they've done some more interesting pass choices, but it's always just one pass from a ruck and running it up. Improved support runners. Support runner positioning has been improved. I feel like they've been pretty good actually since they fixed that one where they gained the momentum again. But the choice of passes sometimes not getting you to your support players be the more important thing to be than their positioning. So hopefully that sort of impacted that. And then of course as well stability, as they always love to do their stability for the Rugby 25 updates. So let's jump in. Nothing to take a look at with the settings or any of that stuff. So let's jump into a game. Let's do some interesting teams. What else we got in the world here? Let's go over to South America. Who's a team we've not done? I don't think I don't know if I've ever played as Uruguay. I'm going to play as Uruguay. Let's go up against a different one of the Asian teams. We could do Malaysia, Singapore. I still kind of want to be rated slightly high. Let's go against Malaysia. I still want to be rated slightly higher because I want to test the impact of the ruck turnovers and stuff. I might leave this. I kind of want to leave it on hardest to see what it feels like. I'll drop it down to medium again. Hardest is actually fine. There's not a massive differential between medium and hardest. It's just not being able to get the ball back, and it doesn't make for a very interesting video if I can't get it back a bit more frequently than I'd want to in just a sort of standard game. Maybe let's do a different stadium as well. Let's do maybe a slightly different one just to mix it over a bit. Let's do. There we go. Let's change up our stadiums as well. Not going to care too much about the managed lineup or anything. Let's jump into the game and get a look at how we think about these changes have been made. Alrighty then, Uruguay up against Malaysia. So we're looking for improved passing, improved ruck turnovers. Having a look at what the AI is going to do with their decision making around their own passes, but also in response to what I'm doing with the passes. So we want the AI to have the ball as well in this video because we want to be testing that out. We're not just going to go smashing it over, trying to get like 300 tries as our boys run onto the field. I still find that camera angle so weird that it like goes past the flagpole. I really wish. I don't know how they're going to be able to get around that. I feel like they should just remove the flagpole for the sort of entry video with the camera, and then in the match it respawns back in or something, or have it laid down flat or something so the cameraman to get past. I always think it looks very weird when that goes past. But Echeverri to get us kicked off and underway. They do actually have the names for the Uruguay team in, which is nice, but of course probably not all positions, because as is the way with Rugby 25, it's a lot of them they swap to just the actual positions of the player rather than the names all the time. Oh, they're going to go for a quick clearance kick. All right, fair enough. First line out of the game. They haven't mentioned anything to do with lineouts, but we're going to test the passing. So we're going to go. I think we'll go long throw, drop down to scrum half, and we'll see if we can get a couple of passes going along the way here. So let's go back, press A, we get it over, that is fine. Drop that one back. Still pressed a different target button then to who it gave the ball to, but we'll go for it for now. My support runners, we did manage to get that ball back, but it still went to ground. Didn't feel like there was an improved passing too much there. Right, let's go to X and then beyond. So we're going to go wide. Still got that weird thing where they're stationary and then just throw it out afterwards. Let's go Y out to winger. Y to winger. That felt better. And the AI got off the line quite quickly to be able to shut me down there. They sort of knew it was coming. Let's go back the other way then. Let's go to the number 1 and then we'll try and ship it out wide this time. Wow, there's that thing again. Where they just stand up with the ball. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing my target passing. I'm just pressing the pass. I'm not pressing anything else. And sometimes my scrum half is just standing up with the ball and not giving it to anyone. I've also got a guy standing on his own. Just in the 22 doing nothing. So he's going to be stationary for a bit. We've got another one of these passes. Oh boy. This does not feel great so far, not going to lie. This feels worse than the last one. Oh, and we're offside. Of course we're offside. There's a guy on my team I can't position. Stuck offside. Right. Yeah, not a great 10 minutes so far. So far the passing, we've had stationary looping passes to nobody. We've had a pass that just bobbled along the ground. It's hard to know if the AI is reacting to me very well. I feel like we've actually had 2 kind of decent-ish breaks there, and the AI not really getting on to me. Let's actually let them have a bit of possession of the scrum here. I don't want to take it off. And let's see if they try and play it out. Let's see what they do passing-wise. So, scrum half, didn't pass it, just ran it straight into me. We'll just add one guy into the ruck. There's one pass into the line. One pass into the line. Didn't it say they were going to do increased passes? No, that was a better movement from there. Swarming through my defence there. I'm also got to try and look for these turnovers. I'm the higher rated team. Let's see how that impacts the turnovers in this game. That guy's a bit more isolated. Let's go for it. Not able to get there, and they've box kicked it away. Didn't really feel like there was a lot of improvement there from the AI in terms of passing. There's another pass just bobbled along the ground. And I can't add anyone into that ruck either. One off pass again. I'm sure it said ruck turnover, AI decision making, including less conservative play, resulting in an increased number of passes in a phase. I am yet to have a single. That was a deeper pass. Still going. Is he going to give it to Spot? They're just not doing that, are they? That just hasn't been a thing. They have. I'm still yet to see more than one pass in a phase. I also struggling to get a turnover yet. I'm, of course, the higher rated team. Not necessarily maybe to do with players. It might have meant that it's, you know, the skill sets of the players getting involved with the ruck is likely to get a turnover. But I'm a 78 rated team. What was the opponent's, like 65? That's quite a differential. You'd be expecting turnovers to come along the way here. Still waiting to get a turnover. Still waiting for the AI to do more than one pass. So far, it's not looking particularly good. I'm going to do one thing. Now, this was something that came out in a tweet. Ross put out a tweet, the CEO of Big Am put out a tweet to say that they are actually concentrating on specifically the end camera for the way the gameplay works. A few people have mentioned in the comment section, I've seen it in the Discord as well, people saying about how they're really struggling playing with the with the side-on camera because handoffs don't work and a few more things don't work. And it's actually now come from the CEO of Big Ant. They are prioritizing, basically, the majority of the player base plays on end-on camera, and so they're prioritizing the way they're designing the game to be fitting for end-on camera, which is why side camera has some stuff that doesn't work. Which to me isn't great, because it you know, as someone that would exclusively play on a side camera if it wasn't for having the YouTube channel and wanted to do videos like this, I would never use the end-on camera. I think side camera just visually looks better. Oh, I had the ball there. I don't even know how I got the ball. Is that one of those? Ah, right. Okay, hang on. I've got to adjust this now. Let me just double-check what happened there. I think they had the ball for that one. Nope, we got in. We fought for that one, and the ball came over. So that was a new turnover in the ruck, which makes, you know, better sense than the skittle barrel roll of players, right? I didn't realise I had the ball then. What actually was on screen to show me that I had the ball and won that? Oh, you know, all right, yeah, the ball is at my player's feet, but I'm playing from all the way back here, and I've got my number 9 stood in front of the ruck. I don't know. I can't see that as a thing. How did I know I had a turnover there? That I know. I'm happy to say that another one of those rubbish floaty passes, and another one along the ground. We'll make our way along. Let's try and get a try. Let's put something in this video, because currently the passing seems worse. The ruck turnover has changed, but I'm going to have to give the ball back to the AI to have a few more of them. I want to get more turnovers to be able to feel like, can I tell that I've won a turnover other than just the ball magically appears at the back of my ruck, but I don't see it because my scrum half's in the way. AI decision making feels identical to what it was. I haven't noticed a single change from them, really. Support runners, you know, we'll test out the support runners a bit more. Currently, we've leapt off the cliff and we're waiting to start flying at the minute. Still looking for. I'm going to guess the mechanics are the same with the way the B and the X are working to be able to get the turnover. Oh, that one was a big shove over the top. So what was different between the first one and the second one? Why was the first one I just claimed the ball and the second one was a... Let me go for only B and see if that makes a difference. Also, not many people are getting into the rucks very quickly. That was a rubbish kick by them to be able to get away. I'm having more issues actually getting my players into the ruck as well. They're really standing around for a long amount of time. I'm just trying a few now by only using B to see if that impacted getting the turnover. Oh. Oh, I'm offside! Am I offside? Why am I offside? He kicked the ball into me with a rubbish kick. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm a bit more analytical in these videos. More stuff seems broken than what it was before. Okay. Well, let's just take this. Come on, boys. Yeah. The scrum as well. I've seen a few people. I was watching Sammy X2 was doing a live stream the other day, and I was watching his live stream. He was talking about he was struggling at scrums. I think scrums have got worse as well. The way that the sort of QTE of when you've got to hit your markers, they've become really harsh, and scrums collapse. Like I've clearly won the ball. I've got it. It's in there. I'm hitting almost. I must be doing it 95% perfect, and the game just says nope. That one. In fact, I feel like I'm getting input delay. I feel like I've actually gained a bit of muscle memory for this now. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of input delay from when I'm using the triggers to not using the triggers. What a pathetic kick. Why don't the AI kick the ball properly, like to end the half? I find it so weird that they just grubber kick it. Boot it out. If you want to end the half, boot it out. Do a box kick or something. Like, there's got to be a change there to make those kicks look better. They don't look good at all when the AI try to, and they fail so often at being able to get it, you know, off the park. Right, I've got to give it back to them because I'm still waiting to see the AI do more than one pass, and I'm also trying to get a turnover, like it was in that one where I just sort of gained the ball back. They're still just going for what? I just don't believe this passing thing is in the game about them doing more than one pass. I haven't seen a single occurrence of this yet. I'm even trying to give them room. I'm trying to give them...
It's taken back.
Honestly, that's so hard to know I have the ball. So that time I used X again. We didn't do the barrel over of the players. We got the ball. It looks visually, you know, better to be like, oh, my guy got in there and stole the ball. But it's so... I don't know I had the ball. The guy went to ground. The 3 guys got added in, and the ball just came out, but there's nothing in the ruck to suggest you've got it. It's like the ring around the ball. You know, if you're on here, you could see that happens. But when you go into a ruck here, your ring is around your player, not the ball. And from your camera angle where you're stood, when you go into the ruck, your camera angle, if you're using the back end camera, which they've said themselves, they are prioritizing this visual. This is what you see. I can't see I have the ball. My number 9 is in front because I'm using the end on camera. If I had it Side camera I could see, but they've said they're prioritized. This is very weird. I don't like it. I haven't got a lot of other analysis to bring to that. It doesn't look great. Let me do a side camera one to see if it looks better. Side camera. Nobody's getting into that ruck as well. AI still not going for any extra passes. There's another barrel over. I don't know why some of them barrel the players over and some of them don't. I'm using the same button combination for both. Oh, there's a cheeky drop goal. not what I meant to do there, but it did, did exactly what I wanted it to. Let me just see if I can get this ball back here. So we're going. That was another barrel over. So that's using X. But the first couple I used X and it just took the ball off them. So does it like changes depending on. That one was a barrel over again. Man, I'm finding it very hard to know what I'm doing right or wrong in these situations. Let me keep going with my my support runners here. One more offload. That was a better job to be able to get the offload away for the support runner that time. Oh, that took a long time to register. I was like, oh, we've had a game freeze from scoring a try. I have also had issues with picking the ball up with the 9 and scoring a try won't be counted as a try. And I've also had issues with this, doing quick lineouts since the last patch. Really causing a lot of different sort of soft locks in the game where the player throwing the ball in just sort of gets stuck. We'll notch this one over for Echeverry. But yeah, I can't say I've noticed a great deal of difference. It's interesting that I feel like we've had more turnovers as this game has gone on, so it makes me feel like the players' fatigue once again is coming into it. Let me just take this one in because I still want to test the AI's ability to register where I'm passing to and sort of mark me up. But it doesn't feel like it's any better. I've still broken through the line there. I've got my support runner with me on the inside. I'm glad he's there. The AI's not even sprinting. We are on medium, but there's another try for me. Like, did the AI less conservative play resulting in an increased passes of phases, changes to AI defensive tackles and offensive decision making? I didn't notice any difference there in the defensive tactics. They were worse. They literally didn't mark me up. I did it. Fix it. Is the kicking been fixed at all? The kicking's been okay today. I'm not noticing the AI changing the way they're playing. If anything, they feel worse. If that's, like it's more open. It might be what they're going for by saying it's had a change. Like it's become easier to make. Maybe people were complaining that it was too hard to make a breakthrough. We've still got this issue where the scrum half picks it up from the thing. We'll do the same thing again. We're going to go out towards this right-hand side. Oh, we've got weird buggy pass. I mean, this passing hasn't been fixed, has it? I mean, the passing's the same. Better calculations of pass trajectories and responsiveness from AI-controlled players to passing. So I think it's split into 2 points. So I think it's a better calculation of pass trajectories as its own point, and then the responsiveness from the AI to the passes that I'm doing. I just got to pick this up. I can't keep that in. That time it's still orange, but we were able to take that one away. I just don't believe that's better. I think the passing feels just as bad as it did in the last update, with having those passes go wild to the ground. Going for those steals again now, because we want to see what it looks like to actually take the ball off them with the ball coming in sideways. Unless it doesn't work on side camera. Now that I know that the game is literally played in a different way, side camera to end on camera, and they're prioritizing the end on camera, I actually don't know if, like, the reason we've had the sort of bowling pin knockdown animation on side cameras because the new turnover system hasn't been implemented to side camera yet. It might be that, and there's we don't know it because they're expecting the majority of players to play with the end on camera. They're looking for that turnover. We've got another barrel over one. Isn't that interesting that we've had all barrel rucks to get the ball back when on side camera, yet when we used the end on camera, we had 2 of them. Let me swap it back to see if it makes a difference. Let me make a tackle here, and let's see if we can get this ball back on one of these. Come on, boys, get in there. In. Looking for those turnovers, not coming in. I wouldn't say I've noticed a massive... And we got one of those picked up from the back. There is nothing on screen to display to me that I've got that ball. I had no idea, again, I had no idea I had that ball in the ruck. But now that we've swapped to end camera, we get those ones where the ball comes back to. So I'm going to guess it's just not been implemented to side camera, which again I just think is rubbish. Like the idea that you split the player base down the middle, it doesn't feel good from the idea of like the handoffs from an online perspective. Anyway, not only is it easier to play with the end on camera, but you also like gain extra advantages. Like, these new things aren't being added in. I'm another barrel over on side camera. It doesn't do it on end camera, but does do it on side camera. How weird. And end on camera is worse for understanding how you get the ball back, because your scrum half is stood in front of the back of the ruck, so you can't actually see. The support runners actually might be slightly better. I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's a couple of those passes I've really had someone next to me to get one of those passes away. They've even held a better depth from me. That might be the only positive thing I'm going to take away from this first game, because it's rough. Unfortunately, the support runners might have been improved, because that's a couple of plays now where a support runner has been right on my shoulder as I need him, and I've not even necessarily done the target passing. I've also done like an offload pass almost, or a very, very late to being tackled pass. And it's felt clean. It's felt smooth. I was like, oh, that's at least a positive. We've able to get the handoffs this way at least, so we'll try and make the most of it. Let's see if we can go for one more interesting try. So we've got something to. No, I pressed B, pressed A that time, and it swapped again. This is another thing. So we now got an injury. So the ref stops the clock for the injury. We have a little cutscene of a guy who's injured. Great, love that. Let's get a stretcher on for him and stop it. Game stops. We have a scrum, but that guy is going to remain on the field. And that's like another thing. It's just like these little, quality of life things. That should just be a forced substitution. He's had a severe injury. I should now, as the player, be made to take that guy off, I assume. Or is he even injured? Do we even have an injury? Nobody on my team is injured. Did he get auto-subbed off? Having a quick look through the player numbers. Nope. He's just not injured. He's just not injured at all. He's fine. We just stopped the game for no reason, and I gained a scrum. It's just so weird when you have stuff like that. I mean, have I really noticed the AI even, marking my passing better as well? Oh, and there's another one of those offloads that bounce along the ground. Passing's not better. It just isn't. There's not a lot else I can say on that, right? It's the same. I haven't noticed a single... all of the problems that were in the last patch are still in this one, from a passing standpoint. Let's go on to thoughts and feedback then, because I can tell I'm already there in my own head. Let us put the patch notes back on screen and have a look at these. So, improved passing, better calculation of pass trajectories, and responsiveness from AI-controlled players to passing. We didn't have any of those, I don't think, where we threw the ball and it bounced into a player from the ruck and it got stuck, which was a weird glitch that sort of happened. But better calculation of pass trajectories. We still had passes go to ground. We still had offloads just thrown into touch. We had a couple of target passes just not go to the guys at all and bounce along the ground and go out. So all of those things are just still there. Better responsiveness from the AI-controlled players to passing. Was there? I can't say there was. If anything, I think it would be worse. I feel like I had far more opportunities there to pass it out wide and just go round the outside of them and run. I feel like they actually marked up less, and I was able to do more. So I would put a cross next to that one for me. That one, it just hasn't worked at all. Improved the ruck turnover. The chance of causing a turnover at the ruck ruck now increases proportionally with the skill differential between the opposing players, without the need of a pushover. So it's not necessarily the team rating, it's like the players rating. I, as the higher rated team in that, certainly got, I think, all of the turnovers. In fact, did the AI get a single turnover in that game? And that is one thing to keep your eye on when you have these sort of updates where you prioritize the higher rated team, is can the lower rated team actually do anything? The AI, we've seen it in other games where the AI will get 300 turnovers a game. But, you know, a lower-rated team still needs to be able to win something, because otherwise there's no point playing as a lower-rated team, because you'll never, ever win a ruck. And that's something that rugby games do find really hard to find that balance in. I'm not going to be too harsh on that right now. That's something they've put in this patch. I noticed a few turnovers on my end, but none on the AI side as the lower-rated team. I'd probably have to test a bit more to see if I was the lower-rated team, could I still get those turnovers? But without the need of a pushover, no. Side camera is exclusively pushover from that experience. I could not get one of those, you know, balls brought out the back of the ruck. They've changed the animation from the end on camera so that the ball now comes to the back of the ruck. To me, there's no clear visual signal on screen to tell me as the player I've won it, because the only way I can win rucks is by highlighting a totally different player away from the ruck, and I'm spamming X, and that's why he's waving his arms about. I'm focused on that guy to make sure I am winning, and the ball just sort of rolls generally into my side of the ruck, and we had about 3 or 4 in that game. I had no idea I'd won it. Why? Well, my scrum half is stood in front of my camera view of where the balls come back. There's nothing to say I've won the turnover. You know, it doesn't shift my marker of me holding on a different player. It doesn't shift me back to the scrum half to show, hey, your scrum half can now pick it up and run with the ball and do something. So to me, like, they've changed the way the animation works for the ruck turnovers on one camera and not the other camera, which I don't think is a good idea. I think you're going to create this weird split in player base. And what happens now if you play online, if it only works one way? If you play online on your end on camera, are you still going to get barreled over because the other person's playing on side camera? You know, I'm not a big fan of the big counter ruck push, but if you're going to have like the jackal turnover sort of thing at the ruck, it should be based on the Y button for me. Y should be jackal, X should be like a counter ruck, and Y should be your guy got in the ruck first, and he clearly picks up the ball and then, you know, puts it back on his side. There needs to be a better visual on screen to showcase that you've got the ball, as opposed to just the ball randomly rolling back from their side of the ruck to your side of the ruck. Improved AI decision making. Changes to the AI defensive tactics and offensive decision making included less conservative play, resulting in an increased number of passes in a phase. No, didn't have a single phase where the AI passed more than once. It felt identical to the last patch. The AI defensive tactics felt worse. They literally were bunched up more, and I was able to go around the outside on about 3 or 4 occasions. Didn't notice any difference from an offensive standpoint from them. I've been doing the Six Nations series on the channel. No difference there for me either. It's a big X on that one again for me. Improved support runners. I'm actually going to give this one a bit of a tip, because there was a few times in that game where I did an offload or a really late pass and somebody was on my shoulder. I was able to give that support runner pass. They didn't lose a single bit of momentum, and they carried it over and they scored a try from basically all of them, right? So that, I think, is working well. The support runners thing, I'm glad they fixed and is now really feel like it's being implemented well into the game. But like the passing from this update, there's more of those weird ones where the scrum half stands up on his own and then just chucks it over his shoulder to nobody. We had all the same issues of balls bobbling on the ground, offloads not working. New turnover system only works one way on one camera. From that experience right then, that's what I'm judging it off. Might be wrong, happy to be wrong, but we swapped cameras over and over again, and it only worked one way. I don't know what else I can take away from that experience. Improved stability, no crashes. Felt like there was more input delay on the scrums. I feel like I was really missing the marker. And then we also had 2 tries in this game where scored the try, and it felt like quite a long time before we moved on from that player scoring the try. Like there was a bit of a delay before the cinematic came as well. So stability-wise is fine, but that's a weird sort of delay that I've noticed from that experience. Let me know down in the comment section, guys, what you think of this update. Have you played it yourselves? What's your thought on it? For me, this one, I don't know, is not great. 4 out of 10 is what I'm going to give this one, I would say. Let me know down in the comment section, guys, your thoughts, and as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the latest updates from the world of Rugby 25. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.